All right, let's finish this up. So, keeping with this, I got a note in the mail, $150. It says all the movies that they wanted for the $150, 4 films, and we did them in the order as the list states it here. And the last one, as a bonus request, of course, I'm going to do it for that kind of fucking money. You send me $150, man, you're going to get 4 fucking reviews, and you're going to get them pretty damn quick. So that one is Some Kind of Hate, and that is from the director of Daniel Isn't Real. And so, all right, first off, don't kids know by now, in 2015 when this movie was made, which is 5 fucking years ago, it's not that old, don't kids know by now to not pick on the, rocker black sheep kid over in the corner that looks like he's already pissed off at life and whatnot? Like, don't you know not to fuck with that kid by this point? This is how Columbine happens. This is how these kinds of school shootings and this kind of shit goes down. Like, what the fuck are you? You shouldn't be bullying anybody for any reason ever, okay? I've always said that probably the most rewarding, fulfilling job I could possibly conceive of is beating the fuck out of bullies. That would be the greatest job of all time, especially like high school bullies. Like, get them when they're young so that these kids, because like bullies later on, like, you're an adult. Yes, it sucks and it shouldn't be done, but when you're like impressionable, when you're a kid, when you're in like middle school, high school, and you're like, oh, Jason, your dream job is to beat up children? Fuck yes. That's my fucking dream. Okay, I want to beat up children for a living. I want to beat up piece of shit children that will turn out to be 99.9% of the time piece of shit adults. Okay? How many fucking times have you ran into in a, a fucking school reunion, whatever, class reunion, or just out somewhere, and you run into that guy who was an asshole in school, or a chick who was a fucking bitch in school, whatever. How many times have you done that and these people are completely changed? Holy shit, you're unrecognizable. You're not a total piece of shit anymore. Wow, what a fucking total change. What a 180 you've made. That shit just doesn't happen. Maybe once in a great while, but for the most part. And I'm going to tell you, there's a better likelihood the odds of that go up dramatically from 99% to who fucking knows, but better than 99%. If some 38-year-old man comes and beats the shit out of them when they're like 15 years old and they're picking on this kid in school, and you go, okay, kid, come here for a second as I smash your fucking face into the ground. Then they'll be like, oh, maybe being a dick isn't the path for me. Maybe I should rethink my life. Just maybe. That being said, let's move on. Yes, I was bullied in school, and it hasn't left me. This is what I'm talking about, okay? This is what you make right here, people. Bullying. Fucking bullies. And this whole movie is about bullying. So of course I'm going to be irate watching it. I can't stand bullies. I can't stand the fucking logic behind it. And the way the characters act in this movie. Some of these characters, and this kid feels bad for them. And I get it, I guess, but it's like, fuck these kids. That main kid who's probably picks on him, and then he's the first to go, he's the first to die, and he's like freaking out, oh my god, fuck that kid. Like, he has that conversation with that hot yoga teacher that he's nailing, which it's like, what the fuck are you doing sleeping with this guy? For one, he's a piece of shit, and for two, he's a kid. Like, what are you doing? But, he's not complaining, nor would anybody with that chick. But regardless, like, this kid's a piece of shit. First and foremost, why are you sleeping with him? But all that being said, the shit he says to her in that scene of like, oh, he's just fucking weak, I can feel it, and I'm gonna fucking kill this kid. Like, he hit me. Like, he corners this kid, and he's like, gets hit, and he's like, you hit me. I can't believe you hit me. Like, what are you doing? Oh my god, this is such a great travesty. And it's like, really? Really? What the fuck did you think was gonna happen? So if you don't do anything, you're a pussy. If you hit him, you're a piece, you've crossed the line and you're a motherfucker and you need to be, there's no way out of it. There's nothing you can do. And then here's the other thing. This is what fucking just frustrates me beyond no end right here. The kid takes a fucking weapon, Because, yeah, these kids are bigger than him. He's got nothing to defend himself. What the fuck is he supposed to do? And he takes a fork and he jams it in this kid's fucking face. And you're like, yes. But then everyone's like, oh my God, what a psychopath. Let's send this kid to counseling. What a piece of shit this kid is. Fuck that. I'd be the first person there, like, giving this kid a high five. Like, this motherfucker deserved a fork in the face. He deserved a fork in the fucking eye. He deserved a fork in the fucking heart. These kinds of people are trash. They're fucking trash. They do not evolve. And I'm sick of thinking that they do. Okay? I'm angry. But it's true. It's so fucking true. These kinds of people are pieces of shit their whole goddamn life. And when you come back at them, and as I said, he can't physically fight this guy. He's bigger and he has friends and all this shit. He's got to do something. He's got to grab a weapon. And then they, where they punish him. Where's the fucking fork kid? Huh? Where's he? Oh, he's at home. Like, oh my God, somebody was so mean to him. How could someone hurt my angel? What a fucking angelic piece of shit. Oh. So, this movie was pissing me off while I was watching. I can't stand watching bullying. It drives me nuts. All right. Calm. All right. So anyway, some kind of hate. That's what this fucking review needs, right? It's in the title of the fucking video. It says some kind of hate. So here's some kind of hate. I hate bullies. So you're getting exactly what this fucking video says. Anyway, you've got Abigail Breslin's little brother in this, who was in Cat in the Hat and whatnot. Terrible actor. He plays a minor role in this. The chicks in this movie are fucking hot. You've got the main chick here, the one who's a total piece of shit, to be honest. Like, what the fuck is up with this girl? Caitlin, so hot, but what a bitch. And then you got the yoga teacher. She's a bitch, but she's hot as well. And okay, so we learn later in the film that Caitlin had a girlfriend. Well, she had a boyfriend, and then her friend, who's a girl, stole that guy away from her. So she got revenge by posting naked pictures of this girl, spreading rumors that she had herpes, getting everyone to, turn against her, so much to the point where this girl killed herself. And then the way that she deals with that is to hit on a less fortunate guy, because she essentially feels like if she pity pays attention to him, that'll make up for the actions she committed against somebody less fortunate just like him. And that's what she basically tells him to his face. Like, oh, I pity fucked you to feel better about myself. To feel better that, like, I hurt people like you, weak pieces of shit like you. Like, I fucked you. And, like, I feel like I'm absolved of my issues now. Like, later in the movie, like, a little bit later, she's like, I love you, and I've never loved anyone like you. Like, 5 minutes later. So I don't buy that shit at all. Like, this girl's poison. But yeah, I was just like, wow, this character is a total fucking asshole. Hot as fuck, no doubt. But does that matter? Does that really matter? It might matter for like an hour, right? But no, you don't want to spend much time with a girl like that. In fact, you don't want to spend any time. Let me just tell you guys right now, that whole fucking area of your life where you're sleeping around and you're like, oh, it's just sex, bro, and all this. You know what? This is my rule I came up with later in life, because this is a possibility, whether you think so or not. But remember, this is always a possibility. Every time you go to fuck somebody, people are always worried about STDs and all this, and you should be, and that's a factor as well. But remember this, because as a father, let me tell you, everyone you have sex with, you need to be okay with the possibility of having children with this person. That's what you should keep in your head. So when you're at the bar or out with your friends, and you're at some little, house party, or you meet some girl or whatever, or guy, of course. If you meet somebody who's total psycho, totally out of there. But now, this is where I'm mostly focusing on men in this scenario, because mostly women don't gravitate towards that as much. Like if somebody's like, some dude's like clearly psycho, they're not really into him. If a guy turns psycho kind of during the relationship, they'll put up with it a little bit more. But guys are just like, oh, I'll fuck anything, man. I'll stick my fucking dick into a, an electrical socket. Like if it gives me a jolt that makes me come. So guys don't give a fuck. But that's just it, man. Like you've got to tell yourself, look, this crazy fucking girl. And trust me, I've been with the craziest of the craziest. I can tell you guys stories for days on that shit. I look back on that and think, oh my God, I could have impregnated that girl. I could have a child with that psycho. That person who gave me so much. You know how much grief she would give me if I had a kid with her? If she had that to hold over my head. So rethink these things, okay? You don't understand what the responsibility of having a kid is. All right, is this a movie review? Or is this just like me fucking going on about, life experiences? Maybe both. I don't know. And I like the idea of the voodoo doll kind of killer here. Whatever she does to herself ends up on the other person. So if she slits her throat, the character's throat gets slit. If she cuts herself, if that character hurts her, they are hurt in the same way that they hurt her. And she can't die. So she's, he summons some bullied vengeance demon that's on the school grounds. Now, does this film work completely? No, it doesn't. Did I like the movie? Yes. And have I seen this before? Yes, I have. Where the film falls short is in its exploration of its characters and its plot threads. So it sets up this school and it has like this guru guy that runs the place, and clearly this girl that went there had some shit happen to her and she killed herself and whatever. Okay, that's explored so minusculely. Minusculely? I'm not going to say that. No, that's not a word. Minuscule, but I wanted to change that a little bit. I don't know. Minimalistically. There you go. That's probably the right word. Anyway, moving on. That's explored so little, honestly. And it's like, why? This is a plot thread in the film that's important to the movie, and they set up this character, this guy who like runs this recovery clinic, whatever the hell this is supposed to be. There's such a fucking tiny focus on this guy and who he is. I don't even know his character's name. He has like 2 lines of dialogue in the whole movie. And they set him up like he's going to be some big deal, that he's going to have some big role in the movie. Not at all. And you're like, okay. And then there's just like characters talking to each other and then getting mad, and then this girl coming in and killing them at the end of the movie. Like, everything's so basic. And I feel like there's so much more that could have been done here. Like there's so much more that could have been explored in their past and in hers, and why she was doing what she was doing. Like, I get it. It was a very basic rundown of it. But we needed to know more about this. Why she was there. What's going on with her. Her character in general. So, you don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it either. And I feel like this is, unfortunately, the latter in that scenario. But, I do really like the concept and some of the characters. So it works in ways. I do like the movie. But I don't love the movie. I like that her anger actually makes it like rain blood. And this kid's like into death metal, so it's like raining blood. It's awesome. Wish we would have got more death metal in this soundtrack. That would have been rad. And then if you kill her, you kill yourself. So you can't do that. So any attack you make on her kills you. But then he figures out that if he harms himself, then he can kill her. So he burns himself to save what's left, because she wants to kill everyone, including Caitlin, who he has feelings for now. And then Caitlin and what I was referring to as Moaning Moria, like Moaning Myrtle from fucking Harry Potter, that's actually what it felt like. It felt like Moaning Myrtle from fucking Harry Potter. I was laughing. I was like, this chick is straight up Moaning Myrtle, and her name's Moria, so I was like, it was Moaning Moria. in the lands of Moria. Um, but yeah, her and Caitlyn have this like erotic sequence where she's like cutting her up. But that's another thing. Steer clear of any girl who or guy cuts herself. I've dated some. They're never right up there. No matter how much fucking shit they've went through, they never get right up there. It's always fucked. You're like, whoa. Maybe if they're like 20 years out from it, maybe, or something, or if they went through extensive shit. But for the most part, man, I don't know. Steer clear of it. That's what I do. I do now. Although usually you don't find out till you're taking their pants off and you're looking at their legs and you're going, I don't think those are birthmarks. No, I don't think those are. But yeah, they have this like weird erotic sequence. It's actually kind of hot, to be honest, which I'm not into that shit at all. But Caitlyn's so hot, and the sequence is weird, and I don't know, it's kind of hot, but fucked up. And I was like, I like this sequence. But yeah, overall, just kind of like Dead Shack, decent characters, decent idea, just not the best execution, but I did like it. I did like the movie. I liked the character, the main character here, this kid. I liked him. I would have liked to see a better film centered around his character and just more of his rage and more tied to his love of music and his exploration and explanation of his music, his love for his music and why it helps him, and his, I feels like I'm driving a fucking tank down the street. I'm firing mortars into the faces of everyone who's pissed me off. Like, this kid really illustrates how you feel when you're that kind of kid. When you're that kid that's been bullied, that's been outcasted, that's been hurt, that's been, is his dad who's abusive, who's played by the guy who plays Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, Andrew, whatever the hell. This kid's just being bullied right, left, center, all over the place. And he listens to his music, like I was talking about in my Why Do We Like Horror Movies. It's this release. And I feel like the same with metal music, stuff like that. And people can get it from other music as well, but more aggressive, the better. Like, I absolutely love that shit. I love aggressive music. It helps me completely. And I love his explanation of it in this film. I'm sitting there like, yes, bring it on, buddy. So I agree with him completely. I think that's it. Did I mention how hot the chicks in this movie are? Anyway, yeah, so thank you, man. Hope that was $150 well spent. There's all 4 of your reviews. I gotta get to bed. It's 2 in the morning. I have to be back to work in 7 hours. So it's bedtime for me. So adios, everybody.